morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And I have to say it that way because I think we got people from all around the world. We are full today. So I welcome everybody. And I want to warn you, if you get out of this webinar, somebody's going to grab your spot because we had way more people sign up for this webinar than we had spots, and we actually increased it. So this is our biggest coaching call, I think, ever. So if you're in here today and you were able to get in, I want to congratulate you because you've done something that a lot of people can't do. And as some of you know, we've had some new people join. We have not offered this course for several months because we were helping all the people that had joined. We opened it up on ClickBank, and I did a webinar the other night with Justin from ClickBank University. I think we are #2 on all courses on ClickBank right now, and we're quickly approaching #1. So if you were able to get membership into the Digital Cash Academy, pat yourself on the back because a lot of people were not able to get that. And if you look down there where it says questions, if you would type in that question area there, I'd love to know where you're from. Jessica's also with me. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're at. We tend to think of our time zone only, and we know that's not true. Hey, if you are in here today, type in where you're from. And Jessica, if you could read some of those off where you're seeing in there.
Yeah, I've got Kate from Italy, Texas. Richard's here.
Italy and Texas.
Yes.
Richard.
New York.
New York.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh, Richard is from Yorkshire or York.
Yorkshire.
On,
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Right? Yorkshire. Right? Did we get that right? Type in there if you would.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have more New York. Sarasota, Northeast Ohio.
Wow.
Hi, Kate. Thank you. Asheville, North Carolina. Toronto, Mexico. Ohio. San Diego. South Africa. The United Kingdom. I mean, I could just go on.
Wow. And you know what? If it's an unusual time for you, let's see who wins the contest for the most unusual time being live with us today. What are some of the times you're seeing there, Jessica?
Oh, let's see. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. That's a good one. All right.
Somebody else is in Trinidad, so I don't know what time it is there.
Trinidad, yeah. I don't know the time zone in Trinidad.
No.
It's kind of interesting to see people. Somebody's at 2 in the morning. I see somebody 11 a.m. Well, that's our time. Shoot, that's you're in California or somewhere around there. So very cool. So today, some of you are beginners, some of you are intermediate, some of you are, I guess millionaires and doing great, and that's awesome too. But today we're going to kind of do an in-between training, and it's actually going to be on Facebook ads. When I say in-between, it's not really beginner stuff, but believe me, if you're a beginner, you're going to be at this stage soon. So, we're also going to record this, but that doesn't mean get out of here because you can actually ask questions of me, which is pretty cool. And, they can be specific to whatever you're doing. Today's going to be obviously on Facebook ads. And we're going to talk about the campaigns. We're going to talk about the ad sets. We're going to talk about the ads because it gets a little complicated, doesn't it? If you've tried it and you haven't made money on ads, this is the webinar that you want to be on because this shows you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And in just a second, I'm gonna do some scribble drawing. I'm gonna jump over here. I used Photoshop, and I'm just gonna draw in here and kind of draw this out, and then we're gonna walk you guys through all those steps in there. But feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this. Jessica is going to be monitoring all those questions in there. So guys, if you have questions, feel free to, put in whatever you want. And let me go over here now to Photoshop real quick. My screen's dropping down. I apologize, guys. Let me get the screen back up here. When I move this panel around to see y'all's questions, my screen drops. So let me get back over here, and I'll move things around. Okay, guys, I want to break this down as simply as I can because it seems like Facebook ads just drives people nuts. But once you've got the basics down and you understand the basics and why you're doing this stuff, then you can make a lot of money. but it's really frustrating if you don't understand what you're doing. So let's look at the first level first off. The first level is going to be your campaign. We'll draw a little box here. Now, your campaign is going to be whatever your objective is, okay? So in this campaign here, we're going to say that we're trying to sell CrossFit equipment, okay? So our campaign goal is going to be to sell CrossFit equipment. Now, from the campaign, we're going to have what's called ad sets, okay? So let me draw these out here. So normally you're going to have 8 to 10 different ad sets. But in this example here, I'll just put 3 on here so I don't have to do too much drawing. Okay, so these are going to be your ad sets. These fall below the campaign. I'm going to go really slow on this because a lot of people, but AS for ad sets, don't get this, okay? Now, the ad set itself, what it means is this is where you set your audience, okay? This is where you decide what age, what they like, what their interests are. And then below that, each ad set, we're going to have ads, okay? So here is your ad. Now your ad itself is going to be where you're going to set the image and the actual ad. So these are going to be what the actual end user is going to see when they're done is going to be your ad. The purpose between doing all of this stuff here is to figure out what works. It's not going to be like you're going to run an ad and you're going to make money on a product. It doesn't work that way. The goal is, and of course each one of these has these ads coming out of it, right? Now, what I like to do is I like to take these ads and have them all the same. Okay, so you got one ad here, you got one ad here, one ad here. Maybe they have 3 different images. And put those same ones right here also. So what you've got here is these are your different audiences. Okay? Each one is a different audience. Each one is seeing 3 different ads right here. So since they're seeing these 3 different ads here, I can tell on which one of these is working, okay? So if I look at this and I find out that this particular one is working, but these aren't, I kill these, right? Kill these right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these ad sets with new audiences. I'm going to go in just a second. We're going to look at audiences. If I find out that this ad's working in this audience, but these aren't, I kill these, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these ads with this audience, and I'm going to replace these ad sets with new audiences. I hope that makes sense to you. Now, when we look at our audiences and what we're doing here now, our campaign itself has different meanings. Let's go in and look at that real quick. So this is a dummy account I set up here. So let's just go in here and we're going to look at our ads manager. And we're going to look at how this is set up. So I'm at my ads manager now, and it defaults to campaigns here, okay? So I don't have any campaigns in here because this is just a dummy account. But then there's a tab here that says ad sets, and then there's a tab here that says ads. That's what I just showed you on the other screen. You start with a campaign. Your campaign is your goal. So let's assume we're selling CrossFit gear to a fitness crowd. Our goal here, may be to, sell t-shirts or whatever. Now, what I like to do is I like to do a post, and what you do is you go up here, and if you go over here to all tools, okay, you're going to see this pop out right here. Okay, so then I would go to page post here and go ahead and post it. So let's go back to our ads manager, and we're on the campaign tab here. So let's create a campaign, and the campaign is going to be one of these choices down here. Okay, now let's look at all these choices we have. We have brand awareness, we have reach, I never use either one of these. I never ever use either one of these. So that's certainly up to you. If you'd like to try them, don't get it, don't use them. I don't know of, most people are making millions a year. They don't use these things. Over here in consideration, we use traffic, we use engagement. If you have app installs, you would do that. I don't use any of these things down here, none. Okay. So the reason being is if I want traffic to something, that just means, and understand, you may think that, oh, gee, traffic, that's great. If I get a lot of traffic, I'm going to sell a lot of products. It doesn't mean that at all. All traffic means is traffic. That means a lot of people are going to come there. It doesn't mean they're qualified to buy. It doesn't mean they will buy. Initially, a lot of people make the mistake because they go with traffic. They think, I just want a ton of people coming to my site. I want a ton of people coming to my page. And when they do that, they lose a ton of money because that's not what it's designed for. If you want somebody to buy your product, you would go over here to where it says conversions. Conversion means they convert, they do something. This would also be used if you're trying to get leads. Let's say you have a download that you want to do, something like that. You would use conversions. Okay, so that would be the next thing you would use. I don't use catalog sales. I don't use store visits. Neither one of these. So basically, we've narrowed this down to conversions, traffic, or engagement. Now, why would we ever use engagement? Well, what I like to do is I like to actually put a post up. And then once we put the post up, we want it to have a lot of, engagement, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll run an engagement campaign in the beginning before we actually run the ad to sell the product. And here's what that looks like. I'm going to click on engagement, and then I'm going to pick countries that are known to engage a lot. Now, those countries, if you want to jot these down, are Pakistan, India, Philippines. So if I pick any one of those countries and I pick engagement, and what engagement means is I'm going to get likes, I'm going to get comments, and I'm going to get shares. And the reason I'm going to do that is that once I actually run the ad and people see the ad, I want them to look down and see all of this engagement, likes, comments, and shares, and it's probably going to make them more likely to buy the product. If I run an ad and it has no likes on it, it has no comments, it has no shares, people are going to go, well, that probably isn't any good. But in the beginning, I want to run this engagement to countries that are cheap, okay? So I'm going to click on this engagement right here, and down here, the engagement, I may put engagement top countries. And I happen to know what that is. It's the ones I just mentioned to you, which is going to be the Philippines, and it's going to be India, and it's going to be Pakistan. And there's probably more out there, but those are the ones I just picked because they're really cheap. So I'm going to click continue right here. So now what we were at is we're at our ad set. Now, if you remember, I said ad set is where your audience is, okay? So this ad set name could just be top, engage, okay, top engage countries. So that's going to let me know what I did here. It's just going to remind me what this audience is, okay? So down here, I'm going to get rid of the United States because the United States would be way too expensive to do this with. Now, this is not to sell my product. Understand, this is for what? Engagement, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in countries that I want, which would be Pakistan right here, and it pops right up. I'm also going to include the Philippines, and I'll include India. Okay? So what I've done here is I've selected these countries that are known for engagement. I don't care about this age at all, right? Because it doesn't matter to me, really. I'm just trying to get some engagement going. I may set this at only to 64. I never like to hit the 65 plus because that gets everybody above 65. So, you're serving it up to people who are 105 years old. And that's probably a waste of money. So I'm just going to do that. I don't care about gender. I don't care about language. I don't care about any of this because understand this is just an engagement thing. I don't even care about these placements here. When I get into conversions, I'm going to care about these placements. So I'm going to set a daily budget of, let's say, $5. And understand when I do these engagement campaigns, I'm probably only going to spend $3 to $5 total. That's it to get engagement. And you'll find that you can get an engagement for 1/10 of 1 penny. So you can get hundreds and hundreds of likes and comments and stuff for probably under $5 if you do it this way. And then I'm going to click continue here. And if I had a post, I would do the drop down here and I would actually select the post, whatever it happened to be. Actually, here's a post I could grab, but I'm not going to grab it. And then that post, well, go ahead and we'll grab it and stick it in there. So that post would appear right here because this is a post I did. And then you can see, where it was posted from. And so, yeah, so there's that post. So if you notice, pixels aren't here because you can only do that on conversion tracking. And I'm not doing conversion, right? I'm just doing engagement. And then I would confirm. And I'm not going to confirm this because I don't really want to run an ad right now, but I just want to show you how that works. So as you see, we've got all these boxes checked now because we've been through all these things. So let's go back now to campaign. And this time, let's assume that we ran this engagement campaign. We got a tons of likes and shares and all this. This only takes like a day or two of running this. So then I want to switch over and I want to run conversions, because what a conversion is purchases. See right here? Now I can pick these other things, leads, registrations, custom conversions, whatever I want, but I'm going to pick purchases. So in the purchases one, what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to put whatever the product is. So I may say CrossFit pants, whatever I'm selling, doesn't matter, okay? So that way I know that this campaign name is for CrossFit pants and that's what I'm selling. So I'm going to hit continue here. And then I'm going to put in the age group, and I've maybe already gone into audience insights and decided that my age group is 25 to 35, and I'm going to say CrossFitters. Now I would want to get more specific on this once I really know what my audience is. I'm just doing this as a sample right here. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to go down and I'm going to build my audience. Now, what you want to do, obviously, if you're asking people to buy stuff, is you want to send it to countries that have money, period. I mean, just makes sense. Why would you send it to a country that doesn't have money? You can send it to India and Pakistan and Philippines, but their annual income isn't very high, so you're probably not going to sell anything. So the top four are the United States, Canada, all right, and Australia, right, and the UK, which is the United Kingdom. Okay, these are the top four. Now you can play around with this if you want. I just run it to those. They just seem to work, Now, like some of our products, we sell survival foods. We can't ship to these other countries, so we just target the US. But if you notice over here, it's going to tell you your potential reach is 310 million. Yeah, that's a little big. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So we've already determined, I think, in the beginning, this was going to be 25 to 35-year-olds. So let's put that in there. And understand, this is one of those audiences I talked about in the ad set, because we're building an ad set here, right? We go up to the top. See, this is new ad set, okay? So as we go down here, now we want to start targeting who these people are. So let's put in CrossFit. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so we've got 65 million people who like CrossFit, and they say with all those countries, you've got a potential reach of 89 million. Obviously, that's too big, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to narrow our audience. You got a choice of excluding people here or narrowing your audience, okay? So let's go ahead and click on narrow. And now it's going to say, and must also match at least one of the following. So let's put in CrossFit again. And let's see if we can find something that is interesting to us, that works for us. So you've got that audience inspector tool if you have Digital Cash Academy, and you can really blow through this really quick by using that. But let's say we want them to also like the CrossFit Games. So they're going to have to like CrossFit and the CrossFit Games. Now, as you see, that lowered this, not enough, but I'm going to show you how to lower it more in just a second. One thing we want to do is go down here. There's a little box that's checked. We want to uncheck this box, because what this is going to do is expand interest. I don't want to expand it. I want to go to the interest that I want it to. So as soon as I click that, if you notice over here, it goes down to 6.4 million. Okay. Now that's too big for me still. So I'm going to put in another CrossFit one. What else can I find here? I'm going to also say people, Let me look down here and see what my choices are. And you notice there's like groups in here, like I love CrossFit, different things. Let's see here. I'm going to say CrossFit Journal. So anybody who's into running, we don't want that, cut our audience in half here. And I want to narrow this down a touch more. So I'm going to say just the CrossFit Games, physical fitness, and I'm just going to put CrossFit Games. I really want to narrow this down, okay? So now I'm down to 1.5 million people, which is exactly what I want to do. I'm shooting for 600,000 to 1.5 million people. Now, what I want to do when I get down to here is I don't want this automatic placements. I want to edit the placements. And why do I want to edit it? Because I want it to look like it's not an ad. If I don't edit this, it's going to go in their audience network into native banners, in-stream video. I don't want any of that stuff, okay? So I'm going to get rid of that. And this is also going to make my audience a little bit smaller. I don't want to do Messenger. I don't want to do Instagram. Now look at this. My reach is down to 150,000 people, which is too small, right? So I'm going to get rid of these because they don't run where I want them to. And then I may go ahead and add back some people up here because I'm at 150,000. That's not going to be near enough. So I'm going to go back up here and add a couple more CrossFit things. I'll add back that games thing. CrossFit Games, that gets me to 180,000. And since I've got it down here, I'm going to delete it. And that gives me 2.5 million. And I can play around with this. You can adjust it back and forth. It's still a little bit too high. But I think you get the idea here. So once I go through and do all this, and I've changed where it's going to appear, okay, I can actually pick devices. If you want to go mobile only, you can certainly do that. But I'm going to leave it alone. And then I'm going to set my ad budget right here. Just like I did before, I'm going to set it at $5 because this is just testing, okay? And I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to leave it at automatic bid. I never mess with a manual bid. That gets really technical. And I know people are doing it who are spending millions a month, but I don't do that. I don't spend that kind of money on ads. So we're going to click continue here. And then this is where, if you're not doing a post, which you certainly can, but if you're not doing a post, you're going to add your image here. You're going to pick a carousel, which means 2 or more images, or you're going to pick a single image, but you can, have up to 6 ones rotating in there. You can put a video, you can put a slideshow in here. Now, if you want to use an existing post, you're going to go up here to the top. In other words, if you don't want to put this in, you've already made a post, and you run traffic to it, like I showed you the example, with engagement, then you're going to go right up here and click existing post. And then, of course, you're going to pick your post, whatever it was. And I think we picked this one before. So obviously, that's not a CrossFit one. That's for ClickBank. But that gives you an idea. So what we're doing here is we're actually doing just like what I said here. You've got your campaign, you've got your ad sets, and then you've got your ads. And we're just going to figure out which ones work. That's it. Okay? Understand that this is not, you're not going to automatically make money. What you're doing is you're actually testing, okay? So each time you do this, it's a test, okay? These are tests. And what happens is when we run these tests, we're going to get failures, which is good because what you're going to do is you're going to figure out what does not work, okay? That's the idea. The idea is to figure out when we go up here that this one didn't work, this one didn't work, but this one did. So since this one worked, what we're going to do here with this one and this one, right, is we're going to duplicate it, okay? We're going to duplicate it. We're not going to increase our ad spend over $5. Matter of fact, what we're really going to do is we're going to duplicate the ad itself, okay? And then what we're going to do is in this ad, maybe we'll run it at $50, okay, instead of $5, okay? So we're in $50 ads here. I've found, and I can't tell you why, but I found that if you increase the ads, or ad spend, excuse me, on these ads, they always go bad. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. So we're going to leave this one here, okay? We're going to leave it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate, like I said, and we are going to have a higher ad spend. So you leave these running, you duplicate them, and then you put a bigger ad spend. Now, I'm not saying you do 50, you could do 20, you could do 10, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever your budget is. And like I said, we're going to run test 8, right, to 10 audiences, 8 to 10 audiences, okay, or ad set, right, because an audience is an ad set. I want you to start thinking in those terms, okay, ad set, okay, and then what we're going to do with each ad set is we're going to run 2, right, to 3 different ads or images. I like to run the same ad with the different images. So that's how you do it. It's not that hard. You know, I want to go back here real quick and show you. But you know what you have here is you have your top section here. You have your campaign. Below the campaign is the actual ad set. Within the ad set, you're going to have conversions. You're going to have whatever your offer is. You're going to select your audience. You're going to put your placements, and then you're going to put your budget. Now, once you've done all this, this is all background stuff. Nobody sees this, right? This is a setup. Then you're going to go into your ad, and you're going to have your identity and your creative. And that's basically how you're going to set this up. And you're going to constantly test. You're going to constantly replace until you get ones that work. So let me go ahead and take a few questions now from some of you, and hopefully I can answer all your questions, and you can get yourself going. Okay, guys, we were getting a lot of good questions in there, and some of them we were typing back. And what was the one that Linda had that I thought was pretty good?
Yeah, so Linda was asking about audience targeting on your conversion campaign.
Okay, yeah. I want to remember that. So there's 2 stages, okay? So the first thing I do is I do a post of some sort. Okay, now that could be a little video of my product. It could be an image of the product. It may say, hey, we're giving these away, just pay shipping, whatever it is, okay? So the first stage is to make that ad look good. And the way we make it look good is we do an engagement campaign first, okay? So the engagement is, I'm going to do engagement. That'll be my goal. And then I'm going to pick, let's say, India, Pakistan, and the Philippines. And I'm going to say, go at it, guys. And I'm going to put $5 on this. That's it, $5. And what I'm going to do is, since I've targeted those countries, they're going to be liking on it. They're going to be sharing it. They may comment on it. And I'll run that for maybe a day, 2 days max. That's it. I'm only going to spend $5 or $10 on this. And what it's going to do is it's going to make the ad look good because it's going to have all these likes and shares and comments. So then I kill that campaign. And then the next thing I do is I run the real ad to where I'm actually trying to get conversions. So I select conversions, and then I'm going to pick the US, Canada, Australia, and United Kingdom. If I want to sell to all those countries. If you just want to sell to one of them, that's fine too. And then I'm going to actually run the real ad. So when people see the real ad for this particular product, where I'm asking for conversions, in other words, I'm asking them to opt in or to buy my product or whatever, when they see the ad, they're going to see it with all these comments and likes and shares and go, wow, this is popular. So I'm kind of tricking the system to make it look more popular than what it is. And Jessica, I see tons of questions coming in.
Yeah.
Could you read off 1 or 2 of those to me? So, because we're answering those in the background, guys, and she's going to answer all these, but I want everybody to hear them. So can you pick one there for me?
Yes. So, oh goodness, I just answered a really good one.
You guys are having great questions. I really appreciate this because this helps everybody.
Oh, so one person was asking, when you were targeting for engagement for likes, if you were trying to get likes on your Facebook page.
No. And you know what? Facebook pages are useless. I got to tell you. I mean, they help a little bit, but it used to be, and I don't want to get off track here, because what I was doing is getting likes and comments and shares on the post itself, because that's what I'm going to use for the ad. It used to be that when you had a page and people liked it, every time you posted on that page, everybody saw it. Facebook has changed that. It's 1% of the people will actually see it. So, we have gone to using groups. You still have to have a page, because that's the only way you can run an ad. So, I mean, yeah, you still have to have a page. But if you have a group, everybody will see it if the notifications are turned on. So if you have a group, and let's say you're you're selling motorcycle stuff, you would have a group that has, motorcycle enthusiasts. Okay. So it's not just your company. It's the passion of what they have, because that's what we're selling to. So if you have a group, then 15% of the people will see it if they have highlights turned on. But if they go up to the top, click on notifications and click see all notifications, they're going to see 100% of what you do. So that's, those are really cool things that you can do with a group. Got a lot more questions flying in here. What is John saying about niche? I see something about that. You see that one, Jessica? I know there's hundreds of questions coming in, guys. We're trying to sort through them.
Oh, you set up a page do you set up a page for each product or niche?
Okay, you don't set it up for a product, you set it up for a niche. So an example I think I gave in the webinar was, let's say you got turtle lovers, people who love turtles, save the turtles. That would be your group, and you would post all kinds of cool information about turtles and what's going on. And then every now and then you can post something in there about a necklace or a hat or a bumper sticker or whatever you have about turtles. And since these people are passionate about turtles, they buy your products. Really simple. John says, thank you. Good. That answered it for him. Couple other questions, Jessica, and then we got to shut this down, unfortunately. And we have a really important thing we have to do on Fridays. We go to lunch. Oh, wait, somebody asked a question. What was the squeaky toy in the background? Okay, so I like to do these at home on Fridays, and my dog loves to play with her squeaky toy as soon as I start recording, because she hates to hear me talk loud. So she will go divert herself and grab a squeaky toy. So that was my dog, Kim, and she was playing with her toy. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but that's what that was. You got a couple more questions there for me, Jessica?
Yeah, so Kate was asking for kind of some clarification on the difference in the campaign ad set and ad. And I told her, because I've told a couple of people this, so I think it might be helpful. The campaign is your goal, the ad set is your targeting, and the ad is what people are going to see, the image or the video.
Yeah, let me clarify. She used the word targeting, and that's kind of a high level word. Targeting means audience. So think of it this way. My campaign would be to sell my necklace, okay? My ad set would be who I'm going to sell it to. That's where I'm going to set that. And then the ad is the actual ad that the people are going to see. So you could have, 10 ads attached to an ad set, because all an ad set is your audience. That's it. That's where you're targeting the people that are going to see your ad. So it's really simple that way. And I got super confused when I first started doing this. Somebody says, oh, great, I understand that now. Boy, it took me a while to understand that. It was just so confusing. What else you got in there, Jessica? And take maybe one or two more questions.
Yeah, so, well, Linda's asking about where do you find your audience insights?
Okay, you could do several different things. And when you say audience insights, that's actually a part of Facebook. Audience insights is. So you can actually do your drop down on your top left there where you have all your tools. Go to audience insights, and you could actually type in a competitor in there. And I think I'm going to do a video on that. But let's say you're selling coffee. You're selling some type of specialized coffee. You could actually go to audience insights, type in Starbucks, and then off to the right, it's going to show you the demographics of the people who like Starbucks. So that's a pretty cool thing you can do. And that's a whole nother webinar, but that's actually something you can do. And you can also use your audience analyzer, which is part of the software we provide in this course. So let's say you've determined that, Starbucks is a really good demographic for you. You could put in Starbucks, and it's going to pull up a whole lot more audiences that you could actually target. And it's actually going to show you in that software, if you have the Digital Cash Academy. I understand not everybody on this call does, but if you have that software, man, you can find thousands of audiences real quick. And it will tell you how many people are already in that audience. So that's pretty cool. And let me see here. I've got, let's do one more question. Pick a really super great question, Jessica. Yeah.
Let's see. Can you have multiple pages for one account?
Yes, you actually can have a lot of different pages. And you can have as many groups as you want. So let's say you start off with a product in your mixed store, and it takes off, and it has to do with, I don't know, dolphins. I was talking with one of my coaching clients the other day about that. And it takes off. So you start a page for Save the Dolphins, and you have all kinds of cool information there. And guess what? You can have jewelry for dolphins. You can have bumper stickers, T-shirts, whatever you want for dolphins. And then you have another one that takes off, and it has to do with, save the sea turtles. You could have a page for that. You could have a group for that. And then you can post all kinds of products in there for that. So, guys, this has been a really awesome group. Somebody's saying, do you do private coaching? I I hate to say it because every time I say that, then I get a bunch of requests. I do that, but it is very limited. I do charge for it. I'm not going to tell you I don't charge for it. So don't. I have people say, well, I'll start a store and you build up the store for me and I'll give you a percentage. Well, gee whiz, I would just do that on my own. So no, I don't do a percentage of your store or anything like that. And what's Crystal saying there? Jessica, I can't quite see that one.
Crystal. When can you start using the software to view and play with to view and see what it's about?
You could use that at any point. I know we had a glitch and some people weren't able to get to their software, so bear with us on that. If you send in a support ticket, send in another one and we'll get that fixed. We actually lost support tickets, which was horrible, because we didn't know people had a problem. But we're getting all that fixed. There's this thing called an API, and it actually integrates with ClickBank and our company, and it notifies the person, hey, this is how you access your software. And that went down yesterday because we had so many people who joined. So, that caused a little problem for us, but we're getting all that fixed and that's getting all worked out. Thank you, Crystal, for asking that. And Jennifer, thank you for the thank you. Hey guys, post in there if you learned something today. I want to see if anybody learned anything today, because that's the whole point. And if there's other stuff you want to learn, post that in there too. So everybody's saying, yes, I learned something. Yes, that was great. I had no idea what the difference is. And then, yes, I learned. Super, absolutely good. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, David. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Amjad. David, yeah, there's tons of people in there. Marcos, super great. Hey guys, we really appreciate it. We're going to have another one next week. If you want to post in the comments real quick what you'd like to learn about. Somebody says very excited. I'm glad. Excitement is super. Thank you, William. And Stephanie right there. I see Stephanie Bledsoe in there. Crystal, thank you for participating. So if there's something that you want to learn, you can send it to support, or you can also just post it in the comments right now and we'll try to grab that. Yes, Jessica?
Post it in the Facebook group.
Post it in the Facebook group. Yeah. If there's something you want there. If you're not in the Facebook group, make sure you join that. That is the Art of E-commerce Success. We have some super successful people in there. So sometimes it's not just me answering, it's other people in there. But we've had a great time today. We love doing these things. The more people that show up, the better. We were maxed out today, which was just awesome. And we appreciate you guys being in there. We are going to be off to lunch, and you guys get working on those videos and get working on your stores and get working on having some income. Jessica, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, I actually, just really quickly, because a lot of you are asking questions about other topics, and in your members area, you can view all of our past.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Calls.
Yeah, go into the members area of the Art of E-commerce, and you're going to see a little tab that says videos. If you click on that, there's tons of videos in there, guys. We try to give you as much content as possible. I also have a YouTube channel. You can go there, and it's J.R. Fisher Training. That's J.R. Fisher Training on the YouTube channel. And of course, my webpage, which is jrfisher.com. What are they saying about Module 2? Somebody's saying, what's Ann asking about? I can't see all these, Ann. I apologize.
When is Module 2 coming out?
They're all out. If you don't have access, let us know. 100% of all the modules are available to everybody. So, you don't have to wait on any of that. It is available. If you have an issue, get into something, let me know. But it should be there. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We're going to be off to lunch. Some people in this group actually follow us on lunch. And I know that sounds funny. And here's the deal with lunch. Every Friday, I go off to lunch, and it's usually a different restaurant. And I post a few pictures. And a lot of people have picked up some restaurants in San Diego that we go to. Sometimes I'm out of the country. I did it when I was in Bangkok. We do it when we travel, and I like different restaurants. So we go to different restaurants, and you won't learn a thing about digital marketing there or e-commerce. You'll just learn about restaurants. That's it. So thank you, Christopher, William, Jennifer, everybody who put comments in there. And we will see you next week on the next coaching call, and I'll see you in the group. Talk to you later. Goodbye.